So in life, we all have different goals, and one of the goals I always kind of have strived for was to be a wise man. Not necessarily a smart man. I think I'm already a smart man, or at least I like to tell myself I am. But I kind of want to shoot for the wisdom thing. But for wisdom, you really need an overarching goal. You need a concept to strive towards, and it can't just be something like, well, I want to lose 5 more pounds, or I'm going to learn karate so that the kids outside stop beating me up every time I go out for groceries. You need a more overarching concept. And my concept, which I'll share with you, is I try to remove illusions from my life. You never really realize how many illusions you live with until you try taking them away. Like, as a perfect example, I have 2 daughters who have now grown to adulthood. And I love my daughters. They're beautiful, they're smart, they're wonderful. I'm so proud of their very existence. But I don't have any illusions about them, and I never did. Even as they were growing up as children, I never looked at them and said, oh my God, they can be anything. They could be doctors, lawyers, President of the United States, or maybe even something useful. No, I always looked at them and realized, especially once they kind of developed their own little personalities, that odds were good that they were never going to succeed in life. They were never going to really reach their full potential in life. And it's not because they're not attractive enough, because they're both beautiful girls. It's not because they're not smart enough. They're both whip-smart, intelligent, borderline genius. The real problem is that the jobs that they're really best designed for, the jobs that nature and probably their upbringing have designed them for, are not the kind of jobs that there are a lot of openings for. For instance, my youngest has a wonderful sense of entitlement, is really, really a nerd with her own self and her own demands, and actually develops a sort of confusion if you don't do what she wants you to do because she doesn't quite understand the concept of not getting what she wants because she wants it. Couple that with a fierce intelligence, an ability to manipulate people that is boggling to the mind, and a natural organizational concept plus a very alpha mentality. And it's really clear what she's supposed to do with her life, and that would be dictator of a small country. Now, I say a small country not because I have low standards or anything for my children, but because I don't believe she has the sort of organizational capabilities to set up the infrastructure necessary for a large country. However, a smaller country that requires less infrastructure, I think she would manage very well, and really do a wonderful job of ruling with an iron fist, crushing the will of the people. I think she would excel at this in the most amazing way, and at the same time get everyone to actually sort of like her. But again, that's the sort of thing that there's just not a lot of openings for. I mean, how many small countries are there available for a dictator to walk in and take over? And plus, it's just not the sort of thing she's ever really considered for herself, because I didn't want to give her those sort of ideas. So she's never really gone that particular route. Now, as for my older daughter, she has an amazing organizational capability. She's actually obsessive-compulsive disorder level organizer. Think a bit more hippie Wiccanish all the way around. She has a wonderful organizational concept. She is also very good at not necessarily manipulating people, but arguing and convincing people to her side, using decent logic and facts, plus organizational capabilities and leadership capabilities. But the kind of organizational and leadership capabilities that only come about when she needs them. She doesn't walk around necessarily organizing everyone else's lives and telling them all what they should do with their lives, unless there's some real need to do so. Which is why she would be absolutely perfect to lead the guerrilla resistance against my youngest daughter. And I know that sounds like a really interesting movie or TV show from Netflix, and if you steal the idea, I will totally come after all of you. But this is one of the ways in which I've removed my own illusions when I looked at my daughters and realized this is the reason why neither one of them are going to succeed. It's purely because of the lack of small countries available to be taken over.